People will love you until you start becoming everything that they've always wanted to be. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kenzie. I am a transformational life coach. I am a domestic violence life coach. We talk about healing, domestic violence, manifestation, pretty much everything over here. It's kind of like an ADHD cluster over here. So if you're into that, stick around. I would love to have you along on our journey. But today, I want to talk about haters. Maybe not haters specifically, but people who, once you start becoming that bad bitch version of you or that badass version of you, the version of you you've always wanted to be, once you start achieving your goals and getting the things that you've always wanted, all of a sudden these people who have always been nice to you or who have been your friends or even your family, all of a sudden they start not liking you or start being rude to you or start being mean to you. Specifically because this is something I've seen in my life, and it's not even just friends, but like people in general. But anyways, we'll get into it. The truth is, these people don't hate you. That's the story that they need to tell themselves to feel comfortable with themselves. That's a projection, right? These people are uncomfortable because you're holding the mirror up to them of everything that they could do, everything that they could have, if they are willing to put in the work of healing, if they're willing to look at themselves in that way, if they are willing to face these things like you have. When you're willing to do this work, when you do the healing, when you face those inner demons that you have and you start to evolve as a person, you start to get the things that you want in life, right? When you heal your inner child, you start to evolve as a person. You become more elevated in your frequency and you start attracting more abundant opportunities in your life. You start to become a more abundant person. You start to get these things that you've always wanted. Things start to fall into place for you. Life starts to get really good. But that triggers the people who aren't able to do those things, who aren't willing to do those things. Those people, they want your peace that you carry. They want that freedom that you carry, that playful inner child energy that you bring out. They want that, but they don't feel secure in having that. When you're bringing these abundant opportunities into your life, left and right, or when you have this charismatic energy about you and people just are drawn to you, other people aren't going to like that. They're going to want that from you. They're going to want access to your energy. And the only way that they're going to be able to do that, subconsciously, of course, is to bring you down to their level. They can't get up to your level energetically, but they can try to bring you down. How can they do that? They can insult you. They can pick fights with you. They can try to sabotage you or get you to self-sabotage yourself. They want the glow, but they don't want to walk through the darkness to get there. These people don't understand the price that you had to pay to get these things. You had to walk the walk. You had to pay a price. This shit didn't come easy for you. You had to go through the dark times. You had to put in work, real true work. For whatever it is that they want you have a nice car or a nice house or a nice family, the love of your life, the energy about you, the happiness that you have, just being genuinely happy, carefree, great job, whatever it is that you have, you had to pay a price to get that. And these people, they're not willing to pay that price, but they want what you have. They want your peace, your confidence, your abundance. They're not willing to face their demons. They're not willing to put in the shadow work. They're not willing to do all of the hard work that it takes to achieve these things. They're not willing to pay that price. Giving up drinking on the weekends and partying with your friends. Giving up those late nights. Holding your tongue when somebody's talking shit to you instead of clapping back at them. All of the things that you had to do in order, even the micro things that you had to do. Changing the little things, your micro habits that you had to change to get here. Even some people, it's giving up caffeine, giving up drinking, changing your eating habits. All of these things that you had to pay the price. You put in the work. You deserve the things that you have. These people aren't willing to put in that work. So they're going to claw their way at your energy. They're going to pick fights trying to get to your energy. Close friends, close family, they're going to stay really close to you. They're going to be nice to you. They're going to be your friend. But simultaneously, they're going to be dimming your light. Or at least trying to. It's up to you to stop them from dimming your light. They crave access to your energy because it makes them feel good. And when they can't be you, they try to tear you down instead. They act like your energy is owed to them, like you didn't spend so many nights crying yourself to sleep, or like you didn't lose so many people that were so close to you, that you loved so much because you knew that it wasn't best for your future. people that you had to let go of, the situations that you wanted to work out but you knew weren't best for you, so you had to walk away, all of these other things that you had to give, all of the things that you have, it's not luck. And that's another thing, is people love to say that you're lucky. You're so lucky. You found the love of your life. You're so lucky. You get to buy this house. You're so lucky. You have this job opportunity. It's not luck. It's alignment. You fixed your frequency. You put in the work. You bettered yourself as a human. You put in that work. You paid that price. You paid the price of what this life costs you. You did it. It's not luck. There's nothing lucky about it. You worked for it. Hard work doesn't just mean you go to a job and you work really hard and then you earn money. Hard work is shadow work, facing your demons, giving things up that feel good but aren't actually good for you. Instant gratification. Things that bring your energy down. It took you all of that resilience, healing through really hard shit. You earned the life that you have, the things that you have, the person that you've become. You earned it. They can become it too if they put in the work. They just aren't willing. They would rather try to steal that light from you than do the work to become it. Your light wasn't just handed to you. It was carved out of your darkest nights, your hardest times. You went through some shit. You can't talk butterfly language with caterpillar people. That's one of my favorite quotes. But these people aren't going to understand. So you gotta protect your energy. Do not let them have access to it. I had a situation recently that this really opened up my eyes to, okay, I'm really, really elevating my energy and people want access to it. I still work part-time at my day job. I'm a server, and I work in an area it's a known tourist area, so it gets busy. You can make some money, and it's called J1s every year, but they're foreign exchange students. And I had a situation the other day. Mind you, I spread nothing but love and positivity. I am never rude to anybody, and I pride myself on that. You will never catch me being rude to you, ever. I'll stand up for myself by all means if I have to, but out the gate, I'm never just rude to anybody. I try to be nothing but kind to everybody. We've had these J1s all summer, okay? It's September now, so I've known them for several months. I've always been nice to them. I help them with everything that I can. I trained all of them. The other day, and my boss assigned sections because with them being from another country, I'm sure they're trying their very hardest. I know they are, but it's hard being from another country. You're not going to be the strongest server out of everybody there. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but I've been serving for 12 years. So I am one of our strongest servers there. And my boss assigned sections, and I did have a relatively large section. And these two girls were very upset about it. And I understand, that can be frustrating. But even before he signed sections, they just were not happy with me for whatever reason, and I did not understand it, but I also didn't feed into it. I just kept my positive energy, went about my day. I did make good money that day, so I was happy, And they started some stuff with me, and I am known at my job for having no issues with anyone. I am friends with everybody. I get along with everybody. I love everybody. I've worked with everybody for years. I love everyone there. So, me having drama with people does not happen. It just is a known thing that I'm just never in any drama. And so, I won't get into too many of the details of what they did, but, they all speak another native language because they're all from the same country. And they talked a lot of bad things about me, which is fine. I really don't care. But then they all surrounded me. There was 7 or 8 girls that all surrounded me because then, at that point, night shift was coming in, which was the rest of the J1s. The day shift was talking bad about me to the night shift. They all surrounded me. They're like, oh, so how much money did you make? And all yipping yapping at me at one time. And I was even if I tried to say 2 words, they were calling me defensive. And I was I can't be defensive because you won't let me speak. And it ended up just being a whole thing. And I left, and I was so frustrated with myself for how much I did let it affect my energy. But it was a lesson learned for me that you know what, they wanted my energy. They wanted how confident I was, how happy I was, how much money I made. I'm sure that they were very insecure about that. But it was all day, up until that point, I didn't let anything get to me. I didn't give a shit. I was just happy-go-lucky in my own world, loving life. And I love meeting my customers. I have my regulars, and then I have new people that come in from all over the place because, like, we're a tourist destination, so, like, I love it. And I had such a good day, and, like, they just wanted my energy. They wanted my, like, and I get along with everybody, and I think that they wanted that too, because, like, they have fights with, and, like, they don't get along with any of the people there. And so, like, I could tell after I left, and, like, I got to my car, and I was able to, like, center myself, and, like, they just wanted access to my energy, and I briefly let them have it. And, like, I regret that. I shouldn't, but it was hard in the moment, and it can be so hard in situations like that are very high stress, especially when, like, you're being ganged up on like that. I was by myself. It was so crazy. But yeah, they just wanted my energy, and they wanted the things that I had, and that they weren't willing to do the work. They weren't willing to look at themselves and say, okay, how can I be a better server? How can I change? How can I change my energy? And how can I change my attitude? They weren't willing to do that work. So instead of them coming and meeting me where I was at, they tried to bring me down to where they were at. I've had to work with them since, and I just don't even give them the time of day because it's not worth it to me. I love where I'm at, and I've worked really hard to get to where I'm at. I've put in the work. On the server side of it, I have put in 12 years of effort to become the server that I am. And on my energy aspect, I have put in so much healing work. I've done shadow work. I have gone through the depths of hell in the last year and a half. Like, I've done so much work. So for me to let somebody, affect that, who I barely even know, honestly, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I've gone through so much I've gone through too much to let something like that affect me. When I am, like, constantly leveling up in life right now. And, like, that's another thing, is the people that I have known for years that have always been really nice to me and are seeing me make these, like, really fast, really sudden level ups in life. Like, I'm buying a house. I'm publishing courses. I'm now publishing a book on Amazon. I have my first speaking event coming up. Like, all of these things coming. All of a sudden, like, they're giving me, like, a lot different attitudes than normal, and they're treating me a little bit differently, and I know that it's not me. I know that, they're not willing to pay the price that I had to pay. They're not willing to do the work that I had to do. And that's the other thing, too, that's hard in coaching, is, like, some of those people even I've talked to about, like, certain issues they've had in life, and I've explain to them things that they could do in healing, but, like, you can, tell somebody all day long a way out of their situation, a way out of whatever they're feeling, a way out of, how to heal a certain thing. But if they don't really genuinely want to hear it, they're not going to listen to you. If they don't want to know that there's a way out, they're not going to hear you. They'll be like, oh yeah, okay, and then don't care, because people are addicted to their comfort. And if they're comfortable in where they've been their whole life, they're going to stay there unless you're willing to change your life. If you want a new life, you need to put in the hard work to get there. And it is hard work. It's not easy. But if you're willing to put in the work, and you're willing to try, and you're willing to go through shit, and you're willing to pay that price, then you are going to win the prizes that come with it. You're going to get the level ups in life. You're going to get the luxuries of life. You're going to get the things that you want. But you have to be willing to pay the price. You do the work, you win the prize. You have to protect your energy from the people who aren't willing to do that, who just want to gain access to your energy. Don't ever shrink yourself to make those people comfortable. They didn't pay the price you did, and you deserve to take up the space. You earned it. So keep glowing, and the ones that are meant to rise with you will find you. Leave the old people behind. It doesn't have to be dramatic, but don't try and drag people with you. That's part of the price you have to pay, is leaving the people behind that aren't willing to rise with you. A lot of people in your life you are going to have to leave behind. And that doesn't mean never speak to them again, but that just means, like, if you're this close to somebody and you're willing to do all of this work to get the life you want, and they're not willing to do that work, you might have to distance yourself from them and make space for the people in your life who are willing to do that, or for people to step into your life who are willing to do that. You don't have time or space in your life for people to hold you back. You need to really prioritize the right people, places, and things in your life. And life can change like that. I will tell you, overnight, your whole life could change. It's all based on the choices that you make, the prices that you pay, and the actions that you take. It's all on you. I think I'm going to leave it here. Let me know if you got anything out of this video today. I have some really exciting things coming up. I can't wait to share with you. I'm moving right now, so it's going to have to wait until I'm in the new house, which by the next video I will be. So this should be the last video in this house. I'm so excited to say that. Oh my gosh. So yeah, big updates to come. Can't wait to show you. Other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.